Yeah. So today again we'll discuss what exactly cloud computing and what are the different cloud providers we have in the market, and like AWS also we'll discuss. So what is cloud computing is? The cloud computing is one of the service which delivers infrastructure, platform, softwares, applications over the internet. So here we are going to get the services like servers, storage, databases, and softwares. All these we are going to get over the internet. And the billing is not initially upfront, we no need to pay. Say here the billing is based on the usage. If I use more, we need to pay more money. If I don't use it, we no need to pay the money. Okay, so now here, what is the main advantage of that is, if I don't have the usage, if I don't have the business in the traditional resources like infrastructure, platforms, we need to pay, or already we have paid the money for that. But in the cloud, what is the main advantage is based on the business needs itself. On demand, we are going to provide. So on demand, we are going to provide, and that gives a lot of advantage for the companies. Upfront, they no need to pay the money, and only for the usage, they're going to pay the money. Okay. And vast set of services also available. So what are those services also we'll discuss, and we can share the resources. Then even rapidly, we are going to get those resources also. So these are all the main advantages we are going to get it with the cloud. Okay. So then, like here we have the service models. Mainly we can divide them into infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service. So mainly we have three service delivery models we have. Okay. Say all like we are going to use depends upon the company requirement and project requirements. Some of them will choose IaaS, some of them will choose PaaS, and some of them will choose SaaS. What exactly the meaning of IaaS is? Infrastructure as a service. We no need to purchase any of the infrastructure, and over the internet or network, we are going to deliver the infrastructure. That's maybe a server or storage network, or maybe in the server also we have the computing resources like CPU, memory, hard disk. We no need to have a single hardware also. And in order to deploy the platforms, we want maybe Java kind of environment, .NET environment, or Python kind of environment. So that pass we are going to deliver to the users. Then SaaS, software as a service. So using the software as a service, what we can deliver is a ready-made ERPs, applications, or maybe like we have the apps, or whatever it may be, the like a SaaS kind of applications like mobile apps. All those we no need to develop, we no need to deploy, we no need to test. Okay, so from the cloud itself, as the softwares we are going to deliver. Those may be the Office 365 kind of apps are now part of Microsoft 365, or ERPs like Salesforce, or normal custom softwares like a lot of Swiggy or Zomato. All these are now becoming SaaS-based kind of thing. Okay, so SaaS-based, we are going to get all these. So primarily we can service delivery models, IaaS we can tell, PaaS we can tell, and SaaS also. So SaaS is dependent upon SaaS is dependent upon the PaaS. PaaS is dependent upon IaaS. Or in another words, SaaS will abstract, PaaS, and PaaS will abstract IaaS. So while learning also, first we'll start with the IaaS. On top of that, we have the PaaS. On top of that, we have the SaaS. Or in another way, how we can tell that is, so now here we have the bottom would be the physical hardware. Okay, on top of physical, we have virtualization. What is virtualization also today we'll discuss. On top of the first stack of service, what it will start is IaaS. Second stack of service is PaaS. Then on top of that, we have the SaaS. Okay, so SaaS underlying using the PaaS underlying using IaaS. IaaS backend we have virtualization, and virtualization backend we have the physical resources. But when we go for the cloud, okay, so below layers are abstracted for us. What is the meaning of abstraction? That complexity has been hidden for us. That means directly you can start at the service level. That service is either IaaS, PaaS or SaaS. Okay, but you don't need to worry about, you don't need to worry about, you no need to worry about the virtualization and the physical resources. We no need to worry. Okay, so virtualization and physical resources, we no need to worry. That is the responsibility of the provider itself. Okay, so that is the responsibility of the provider. Okay, he's going to provide those services for us, and based on the usage, we need to pay the money. Okay, any doubts on this? Any doubts?
No.
Okay, so then say here we have lot of like a cloud service providers. Mainly we can divide that into private cloud. We have a private cloud, then we have public cloud, then community cloud, then finally any of that combination we can call as hybrid cloud. So what is the meaning of private cloud is, in the private cloud we build a like a private cloud. It's exclusive for the company only. Okay. Yeah. Come again. Okay. So now the private cloud, what is the private cloud is, a company is going to build a cloud. It's exclusive for their company employees only. Okay. It's exclusive for their company employees only. Others, like they can't use the Others can't use the cloud. Others can't use the cloud. Okay. So it's only exclusive for their company employees. Whereas public cloud, like maybe Amazon, Microsoft, Google, or maybe Oracle. So these kind of vendors are going to start the cloud. Anyone can use the cloud. It's maybe a small and medium enterprise, large scale enterprise. Yeah, Jagadish, can you mute yourself? So then here we have the public cloud is any of the anyone can use that public cloud. So there would be a service provider, maybe an individual, or we can have the like we can have the small and medium enterprise or large scale enterprise, government agencies. Anyone can use that public cloud, and based on the usage, they're going to pay the money. So what is the meaning of community cloud is, so maybe 4 to 10 companies may form a community, and they're going to build a cloud and is exclusive for them. So that kind of cloud is called as community kind of thing. But today private cloud, community cloud market has been acquired by the public cloud itself. And we can have a mixed kind of things also. That means I may use both the combinations of public cloud, private cloud, community cloud, or mostly private plus public. So then I'll get the benefits of all the cloud. That kind of model is called as hybrid model. Today, lot of large scale kind of enterprises like banking or government agencies, they're not keeping everything in the public cloud. Okay, so they're keeping some of the data in, they're keeping some of the data in the, they're keeping some of the data in the public cloud and some of the data in the private cloud also. Which of the data that is sensitive they're keeping in the private cloud, then for the data privacy and the compliance kind of things they're going to get, and which of the data can be exposed outside, that is they're going to keep in the public cloud. So that gives the combination of both public and private we are going to get. And if you go for AWS, Azure, GCP, all these comes under, any guess? Say those comes under which cloud? Amazon Web Services, Azure, all this comes under which cloud?
Public cloud.
A public cloud. Okay. But they're supporting even the hybrid model also. Okay. So they're supporting the hybrid model they're supporting. Okay. So what are those we'll discuss? What are the vendors we have in the market? We'll discuss. Say in the private cloud, say one of the leader is VMware vCloud we have. Then we have Citrix Cloud. Okay. So then like even OpenStack we have. So these are all the leaders in the private cloud. Okay. So then coming to the public cloud, so we have a lot of vendors like AWS or Azure or GCP. Then we have OCI, Oracle Cloud. Okay. So IBM having both also. They're supporting even public kind of thing and private also. And in the hybrid model, on premises, I may have private cloud, and in the public, I may using any of the cloud also. What is the difference between hybrid cloud and multi-cloud? So in the multi-cloud, multiple public vendors may have like AWS, Azure, GCP. Like this also the companies are using because all the benefits they want to get it. Some services may be AWS may be strong, some services Azure may be strong, some services they may like in GCP. That's maybe client perspective. That's the reason even they're keeping multi-cloud kind of things also. We are going to get it. Okay. Yeah. Any doubts on this?
No, I think IBM also separate is done.
Yes, IBM also have, but they don't have IBM Cloud is also is there, but mainly they're using a hybrid kind of services that supporting to their clients also.
Okay.
Okay, so they have public, private, or hybrid kind of models. That depends upon the client requirement they're providing. Okay.
So what is the?
Yeah.
There is a service now. That is a difference, right? Service now that is a cloud or like that is one of the.
I'm sorry, I didn't get you.
One of the I saw the service now. It's a separate cloud.
Service
like
now.
Yeah.
No. Those are just SaaS based.
Okay.
So in the SaaS, there are some thousands of vendors are coming. Say in the ITSM kind of thing, it's a SaaS kind of thing. That's it.
ఏంటిది క్లాస్ ఇంటానా
Please everyone mute yourself. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Sure. So these all the like players we have. So in the public cloud, we have AWS, Azure, GCP, and even we have Ali Cloud is there in China. Okay, so in China, Ali Cloud is popular. Okay, in private cloud, we have VMware vCloud, Citrix Cloud, even Microsoft also, Microsoft Stack is there. Okay, so then in the hybrid cloud, we have the combinations of both public and AWS, Azure, all these are supporting, even the hybrid model also, they're supporting. Okay, so even that hybrid model also, we are going to get it. So then here we have one word, virtualization. So virtualization came early or cloud came early means virtualization came early, but virtualization is the base for cloud computing. So virtualization is the base for the cloud computing. And what is the concept of the virtualization is, say normally we have one physical resource. That one physical resource is getting virtualized into multiple virtual versions. So normally I'll tell in the layman terminology, we have a one server, means maybe one CPU or one RAM, or like we have a hard disk, all those. Normally we can install one operating system. But if I go for the virtualization, like here we are going to use multiple versions of that we can run. Okay, so what is the concept of virtualization is using the virtualization, we are creating a virtual versions of the computing resources. So that's maybe at the hardware level or desktop level or application level, we are going to virtualize. Okay, so what is the main advantage is, so we have hundreds of again advantages of virtualization because the data center size is going to be reduced, lot of cooling options, carbon dioxide emission is going to be reduced, power consumption is going to reduce, okay, and hardware cost can be reduced, it lead for automation, manpower can be reduced. So like this, we have huge benefits. And green IT wise also, we have lot of benefits. Okay, so but virtualization itself is not cloud. So on top of virtualization, we have some automation. There are some characteristics that cloud need to achieve. But for the base for the cloud computing is, what is the base for the cloud computing? Virtualization is the base. So we have the different type of virtualizations we have. So mainly we can call that as server virtualization, network virtualization, storage virtualization, desktop virtualization. Additionally, we can call that as application virtualization also. So among these, in the cloud, without knowing to us, we are using all these types of virtualizations. Okay, so in the server virtualization, in the cloud, they may maintain only single server, but that can be delivered to some hundreds or thousands of servers. Technically, there is only one server, but that can be delivered to some hundreds or thousands of users. So that's called as server virtualization. And using the network virtualization, like we'll have one NIC adapter, one switch, firewall, VPN, all these also very expensive kind of thing. But those network resources also we can virtualize. Or at the storage level also we can virtualize. And in the desktop virtualization, any desktop in the world we can deliver. Means we don't need to install the desktops. We have a smart device, maybe TV or mobile, whatever it's maybe the device we have tab, kiosk, or we may have like a zero clients to any of the device. We can deliver our desktops. So that is called as desktop virtualization also. And application virtualization, we don't need to install the apps on your devices. From any device, we can deliver applications also. So these all comes under types of virtualizations. But virtualization itself is not exactly the cloud. And automation on top of that virtualization is called as cloud. Okay, so virtualization on top of to the any of the like cloud. Cloud is a service delivery like IaaS, PaaS, SaaS, like this we are giving. But the underlying technology is virtualization. I'll tell one example. Everyone are using mobiles, right? In the mobile technology, they may have the backend technology like CDMI or GSM, or we have old kind of. That's the technology behind that. But what are the services you are expecting? Like maybe my call should be good, or my like voice should be good, and I need to get good bandwidth. My SMS need to send fastly. Like these all the services. But the backend technologies, they may have different technologies for different vendors. In the same way, we have the different vendors in the cloud computing also, but the virtualization is based for them. The virtualization is based for those technologies. Okay, so virtualization itself is not a cloud. We have a lot of factors on top of virtualization leading to cloud. Okay, so mainly what are those factors are? Okay, so mainly those factors on top of virtualization, what we have on the cloud is the first one is metering. So in your home, we have a meter, right? Electricity meter. What it will do? It will calculate how many units you have calculated, right? In the same way, in the cloud also, whatever the usage we have, we are going to collect the metering kind of thing. Okay, so what is the advantage is only for the usage itself you are going to pay the money. If I don't use much, I no need to pay more. So that is called as metering kind of thing. Second one is an automation. Okay, so automation means I want to deliver 1,000 resources. I no need to deliver it manually. Okay, so we can automate it. Okay, so we can automate that stuff. That kind of automation also is possible with the cloud. Okay, the next one is virtual delivery. What is the concept of virtual delivery is mostly to the any device over the internet, we can deliver the resources. Okay, then billing is based on the usage. So mostly we don't get all these in the cloud, in the virtualization. Cloud is going to provide all these for us. Okay, so cloud is going to provide all these for us. Uh, Difference between virtualization and the cloud, we can't directly deliver the virtualization as the service through the cloud we are going to deliver. But the virtualization is the base. But when we are going to build the private cloud, we need to take care the virtualization. But in the public cloud, who is responsible for that? In the public cloud, who is responsible for the virtualization? The vendor is responsible for that. We don't need to worry about that virtualization. We no need to worry about that. That's the responsibility of the provider. So that is the main advantage for this. The virtualization market has been losing and the cloud market has been increasing because the companies no need to manage that virtualization knowledge. But if you have the virtualization knowledge, obviously that is an added advantage. But here we are not using directly the virtualization. Now, who is going to take care of that virtualization? Who is going to take care of that virtualization? The provider itself is going to take care. What is the meaning of provider? In our scenario, AWS is taking care or Azure is taking care like that. That is the responsibility of the provider. Okay. So then, like here, what are the advantages? But the base is the virtualization. Automation is enabled, cost optimization, resources can be used in a better way. Okay, and architecture wise also, like we can build security also is very high with the virtualizations. So these all the advantages we are going to get it. Okay, so we have a lot of advantages by using the virtualization. Always have the like it's an added advantage also having the virtualization, but that layer has been abstracted for us. That layer has been completely abstracted for us. Okay, so now coming to the cloud providers, we have AWS, Azure, and GCP. First, we are going to discuss AWS, and mostly 33% of the market has been with the AWS. Around 22 to 24% of the market has been with the Azure. 11 to 13% of the market has been with the GCP in the public cloud. So this is the market ratio. Okay, obviously AWS is the leader, but we should be flexible with any of that. Depends upon the client requirement. We should work with AWS, Azure, or GCP. Depends upon purely on the client requirement. We need to work. Okay, so then AWS dominates the market. Okay, so why? Because what is the main advantage to the AWS is AWS came early into the market.
Meeting
Compared to other services, AWS came early into the market and vast set of services, more than 230 plus services are there with the AWS, and their data center footprint also is the leading data centers. Okay, so no other companies have that much size of data centers compared to AWS and vast set of services we have. But in some services, Azure is leader. In some services, people prefer GCP also. Okay, so then Like the client base, we can't decide. That's a purely client decision. According to that, we need to support multi-cloud kind of support we need to provide. Okay. So then, like here, AWS has been started initially with only 3 services. It has been started. Okay, so initially it has been AWS started only with the 3 services. Internally, they started at 2004, but what they did is they made it public from 2006 onwards. Means AWS has been internally started as an Amazon project internally, but what AWS did is they made it public from 2006. Only initially with the 3 services they have started like EC2, S3, SQS kind of thing. But today they have more than 230 plus services they have. But when they started AWS, with how many services they started? Only with the 3 services they started. But today in the market, they have more than 230 plus services they have in the market. Okay. And they have infrastructure also, huge infrastructure they have, and rapid growth from 2006 to 2010, only small and individuals or freelancers have been used. But from 2010 onwards, lot of startups has been used AWS and they become the enterprise-based companies. Okay, then from 2015 onwards, even the enterprise companies also have started looking into AWS. After COVID kind of situations or in the COVID, everyone understand the importance of the cloud and the demand for the cloud has been increasing day by day. The demand has been increasing day by day, rapid growth they have seen, and even other competitors also, even if they came into the market also, AWS has kept their market leader share. Okay, so even the day by day the market has been increasing for everyone. Okay, because even lot of potential is there for that. A lot of potential is there for the AWS. Okay, so why AWS is leader is vast set of extensive kind of services, largest footprint of data centers they have, and strong ecosystem. They have huge client base and continuous innovation. Okay, so with all this, like AWS has become the leader. AWS has becoming the leader, and second Azure we have, third GCP we have in the market. Okay, so then like here we have the services we'll discuss. So in this, the first service we are going to discuss is Amazon EC2. So what is the concept of EC2 is Elastic Compute Cloud. So here we'll discuss Elastic Compute Cloud. So what is the main concept of the EC2 is, if you want any server, we no need to have a physical hardware. We no need to install the operating system. Everything is available from the cloud itself. Okay, on demand virtual servers we are getting from the EC2. On demand virtual servers we are getting from the EC2. EC2 stands for Elastic Compute Cloud. Okay, the first service we'll discuss is EC2 itself. EC2 stands for, what is the EC2? Elastic Compute Cloud. So EC2 stands for the Elastic Compute Cloud. We are going to get it. What is the main advantage of EC2 is, we no need to purchase the single hardware. Everything is available from the cloud. We just need to use it and need to pay the money. Okay, so that is the main advantage. And we are going to get Linux, Windows and Mac servers, and huge hardware also is available. Okay, so these all we'll discuss in the next sessions. Okay, after EC2, we have VPC. Okay, so what is the concept of VPC is Virtual Private Cloud. Okay, so what is the concept of the VPC is, our own isolated networks we can get it from the VPC. Means our company also is getting a private network in the AWS. It's a public for everyone, but our company also or our account also will have a private cloud. That kind of dedicated networking is possible by using VPC. What is the concept of VPC is virtual private cloud. Virtual private cloud. Okay. So then the third one is like we have one more service is there. EBS. EBS stands for Elastic Block Storage. So this is going to provide us hard disk kind of services. Okay, so whatever the storage we want, that kind of hard disk we are going to get. Now I'm going to get a virtual server from cloud. Then I'm using mainly three services. One is EC2, second one is EBS, third one is VPC. So computing resources have been provided by EC2.
Provider.
Yeah, no. Computing resources have been provided by EC2. Networking networking is provided by networking is VPC and storage is provided by EBS. All these as an encapsulated object, I'm going to get an EC2 instance. Okay, so what is that instance is nothing but it's a virtual server itself. Okay, so instance is nothing but a virtual server we are getting. Okay, so but we are not getting from the single service. What are those services we have? So we have the EC2, EBS, and VPC, all encapsulated giving these services for us. All these encapsulated giving these services for us. Okay, so any doubts on this?
No, sir.
Okay, so then what is RDS is? RDS is providing database services for us. So what RDS is providing for us is database services. That means like we no need to take care of the databases. The databases services it comes under PaaS-based service. Okay, so we no need to install the databases. So what we are going to get with the databases is automatically we are going to get that databases, we are going to get it from the cloud itself. The databases also we are getting from the cloud. Okay, RDS stands for Relational Database Service. Relational Database Service. So we are getting those services also from the cloud itself. Okay, so what is the main advantage of RDS is we no need of database administrators, their backup, storage, all that we no need to take care. Everything is coming from the cloud itself. Everything is coming from the cloud itself. We are going to get it. Okay, so this is also one of the very important service we have. Okay, so then IAM. IAM also is launched around 2011. IAM stands for Identity and Access Management. Identity and Access Management. Using the IAM, what we are going to get it is authentication and authorization to the AWS services is possible. Authentication to the AWS services is possible with the IAM, and everyone who want to access the AWS resources or to the applications also we can give those permissions by using IAM kind of service. What exactly the meaning of IAM? What exactly the meaning of IAM? identity
Identity and access
and
management.
access management. Okay, identity and access management. Okay, so that's we are going to get it with the access management we are going to get after RDS around 2009 and IAM came. That means all these services not started at only 1 year. Initially in 2006 it started with the 3 services, and gradually they have increased more number of services. Okay, and already we discussed the EBS, right? So what EBS is? It's a elastic block storage. So we have the elastic block storage where it's going to provide the persistent storage for us. Okay, so then here we have the pillars also, we'll discuss that. And additional to EBS, we have 2 more additional important storage services we have. One is S3, Amazon S3 and EFS. S3 stands for Simple Storage Service. S3 stands for Simple Storage Service. And the second one is EFS, Elastic File System we have. Okay, so what is that EFS is? Elastic File System we have. S3 is like internet storage kind of thing. That means everyone will use Google Drive, OneDrive, or iCloud. So everyone can keep the data from the internet and anywhere we can access, right? In the same way, the AWS service for that is okay. So what is that AWS service? S3 stands for Simple Storage Service. And one more is there, Elastic File System. What is the purpose of the EFS is we can get the EFS kind of file mount. Means you no need to be kept in the hard disk itself. We can keep in the EFS file share, and that's we are going to get it from the anywhere any developer can access that. Normally, even in the company also will have the file shares. Like we can mount that shares and we can access the data. But it's not from the internet. Okay, so we have slight differences between EBS, EFS, and the S3. Depends upon the client requirements we are going to use. But for EC2 instance, which storage we are using? For the EC2 instance, which storage we are using? So for the EC2 instance, we are using EBS volumes. EBS volumes, we are going to use it. Okay. So then we have one more important service is there called as Route 53. So Route 53 is nothing but it's a DNS kind of service. Everyone are using the internet, right? So how internet works is nothing but the DNS kind of service. But AWS wise, the DNS service name is Route 53. What is the concept of the Route 53 is? It's whatever the applications we have hosted on AWS, those services we can attach to like our domain names. So maybe my domain name is cloudsoftsol.com, or I have espncricinfo.com, youtube.com, google.com. But my application has been hosted on my AWS services. But how I can link them is like we need a DNS service. Okay, DNS is not a new thing for us because the complete internet is working on DNS itself. And what is the AWS DNS service we have? What is the AWS DNS service? Route 53 is the DNS service name. So Route 53 is the DNS service name we have. Then we have one more important service is there called as load balancer. ELB stands for Elastic Load Balancer. So what we are going to do with the ELB is we are going to redirect or distribute the application traffic. So now assume you are getting a Flipkart. So whenever you hit the flipkart.com, Flipkart is not directly hitting to that server. First, initially, it will hit the Route 53 kind of DNS. After DNS, it goes to a load balancer itself. In AWS wise, what we want is, we want the load balancer kind of thing. What is the service we have for that is ELB. What is the role of load balancer is, load balancer will take the user request and redirects that to the healthy instance. Always the user is going to be connected to the healthy instance by using ELB. So for that, we are using a service called as Elastic Load Balancer. Okay, so then we have one more Lambda is there. Lambda comes under serverless. So all these we discuss EC2 instances in the backend. But if I go for the Lambda, that is a serverless kind of thing. What is that meaning of serverless is, without requiring any single server also, we can deploy our applications. So without requiring any desktops also, we can deliver our applications by using Lambda. Say whenever if someone asks about the Lambda means, you should get that it's a serverless. What is the meaning of serverless? We'll discuss, but that is also is getting popular day by day. So in order to deploy your applications, the backend you no need to take the servers also. And if you go for auto scaling, what is the main advantage of the auto scaling is, like automatically depends upon the load, we can scale up or we can scale down the services. Automatically we can scale up or we can scale down the services also. Okay. So then one more important service is CloudWatch. So CloudWatch is used for the monitoring of the resources. Means I want to monitor my AWS resources. Okay, I want to collect the metrics. I want to get the logs. Okay, so then if anything something happened, I want to send an alerts or alarms. Okay, so these all can be done by monitoring in the AWS. That monitoring service is CloudWatch. Then we have Cloud Trial. What is the purpose of Cloud Trial is, auditing can be done by Cloud Trial. So what is the concept of auditing is, someone performs some administrative activities. That means today I deleted an instance. I don't know who deleted that. Okay. So in the company, everyone will have the IAM user details. Then we can track that record, who deleted that instance, by using the cloud trial. So what we can do with the cloud trial is, all administrative events we can record. So what is the difference between CloudWatch and the Cloud Trial? The CloudWatch we use for monitoring purpose, and the Cloud Trial we are using for auditing purpose. For the auditing purpose, we are using Cloud Trial. All the administrative events are going to be recorded in the Cloud Trial, and whenever we want to access them, like we can get that. Okay. So with that, what is the advantage is, we can have a track of all the administrative events would be recorded, and like even if something happened in the organization, we can track that who performed that kind of operations. Okay. Then we have three more services, EKS, that is called as Kubernetes. Now, very hot in the market is Kubernetes, and that managed service we have in the AWS is Kubernetes, we have EKS. Okay, so EKS stands for Elastic Kubernetes Service. Elastic Kubernetes Service. And for containers also we have ECS and ECR. ECS stands for Elastic Container Service, and ECR is for Elastic Container Registry. Okay. So we'll discuss till this, whatever the services we have discussed. Okay. So now the first one is EC2. EC2 stands for Elastic
Elastic Compute Cloud.
Yeah, compute cloud. Okay. So what we are getting is the computing resources means CPU and memory, we are going to get it. Then the backend to this, we want the persistent storage. That persistent storage from the EBS we are getting. EBS stands for Elastic Block Storage. Then we have VPC. VPC is a virtual private cloud. Our own isolated networks we can create in the VPC. In the AWS cloud, our own virtual cloud we can create by using VPC. Okay. Then IAM is for authentication and authorization we are going to use. That is IAM authentication and authorization. Then we have RDS. So in RDS, we have remote desktop services. So we no need to install the database. Inbuilt ready-made databases are coming. We just need to use them and need to pay the money. Okay. So that's called as relational database service. Okay. So then we have one more ELB is there, Elastic Load Balancer. Then auto scaling, automatically we can scale up or scale down the resources. In the physical infrastructure or virtual infrastructure, it's very tough and huge infrastructure is required, but in the cloud, it's possible. Then we have Lambda. So Lambda we are using for the serverless application deployments. Then one more important service is Route 53. This is AWS DNS service. Why we are calling that as Route 53 is the port number for DNS is 53. That is the reason AWS kept the name as Route 53. Okay. So then we have for the monitoring purpose, we have CloudWatch. Okay. For the auditing purpose of all administrative events, we have Cloud Trial we have. All the administrative events can be recorded using Cloud Trial. Okay, so then one more important service we have is like EKS, which is the managed service for the Kubernetes, Elastic Kubernetes service. And for every service we have that E, right? Most of the services. What is that meaning of Elastic is, if we want to stretch, we can get it more and we can reduce it also. So that kind of features are there. That is the reason they kept the name as Elastic. We can scale up or scale down. Okay. So then this stands for Elastic Kubernetes Service. Then we have ECS, Elastic Container Service. Then we have ECR, Elastic Container Registry we have. Container, what is this also we'll discuss. But for containers are like ECS and for Kubernetes we have EKS. All the images we are going to store in the registry. Okay, so these all the services we discuss. Okay. So more services we'll discuss in the tomorrow session. Okay. So first we'll try to understand this. What are the other services we'll discuss because it would be heavy in one day itself. So we'll revise what exactly EC2 is providing. Can you tell me if someone asks about what EC2? It's a virtual computing environment. We are going to get it from the cloud. Okay, that's called as EC2. And Elastic Block Storage, the persistent storage is available. And VPC, our own virtual networks are available from the VPC. Okay, so then IAM stands for Identity and Access Management. For AWS resources, authentication and authorization is possible. And RDS stands for Relational Database Service. So we are going to get the PaaS-based service. It's a PaaS-based service. Okay, so we are going to get the databases, all these from the cloud. Then ELB stands for Elastic Load Balancers. So whatever the traffic it is coming, it's going to take that traffic and redirects to the healthy instance. Always the application is highly available for us. Okay, so then we have like auto scaling. Depends upon the load, we can scale up more resources and we can scale down also. And Lambda is used for serverless. Without requiring any EC2
Serverless.
instance or any single server also, we can deploy our applications. Okay, and Route 53 is nothing but it's a DNS service from the AWS. And CloudWatch is used for the
Monitoring.
monitoring of the resources. And the Cloud Trail is for
Auditing.
auditing of all administrative events. So that's the reason we should be very careful in the AWS also before doing anything that would be recorded with your IAM, with the user ID or whatever we have done, it should be recorded. Hence, we should be very careful. Okay, then we have EKS. EKS stands for Elastic Kubernetes Service. Then we have ECS, Elastic Container Service. Then we have ECR, Elastic Container Registry. So these are all the major services we have in the market. Okay, yeah, any doubts on this?
Sir, case ECS and ECR
Yeah.
uses, can you explain this
Yeah,
is
yeah.
uses?
Actually, in order to deploy our applications or microservices, now we have the Kubernetes is leader. It's managed from the AWS wise is EKS. For small scale applications, we can use containers also. That is, we have managed. See, these all the managed services. We have our own tools also. We have outside the AWS, but Kubernetes is available in AWS as EKS. Containers is available as ECS, container registry. But even we have DevOps services for this also. But instead of using those tools, people prefer to use managed services. What is the advantage of always using the managed services are easy to use them. Because you no need to take care anything, that's provider will take care. That is the major advantage of using managed services. Like this Kubernetes, say suppose if I go for AWS, we have EKS, and if I go for Azure, AKS, Azure Kubernetes Service, and if you come to Google, GKE they have. Google Kubernetes Engine. All are Kubernetes only. But depends upon our requirement, we need to choose which one we need to take it. Okay. So remaining services we'll discuss in the tomorrow session. So these all the services we are going to learn in the in our sessions also.
This class recorded with is
Yes,
tomorrow
yes,
available.
I'll share. Yeah, I'll share it.
Sir, will you in the real-time project after completing this course?
Yeah. Every day we'll cover the real-time scenarios. It's not in only one project like that. So we'll cover more practical scenarios will be covered.
Sir, can you start with Azure?
No. First we'll start with AWS. After that, we'll start with Azure. That is the best one. Better
Sir,
to start with AWS.
Sir, don't have any real-time project practice.
No. Every day it would be covered with the real-time scenarios itself. By only keeping that word, there is no use. Everyone kept 4 to 5 years of experience and surviving with us. Okay, that standard itself we're delivering. Yeah. Please tell me.
Are we going to get any task day
Yes,
every
the
day?
task I will be giving you.
Okay.
So the task you need to do it only by doing a real-time project is it's technically I'll do it, you will just watch it. There is no use with that.
Yes.
I'll make you to do that, but you should have that interest and efforts.
Sure. Yeah. Because if
Okay.
we can learn
Yes,
something.
that's not possible in only by 3-4 days by showing that live project. You don't get anything
Yeah.
from every day. It would be covered, and it's already proven one. We are not doing for the first time.
Yeah.
AWS and DevOps, I'm almost teaching for the last 6 to 7 years. It's
Sure.
almost 2000 plus people placed. Everyone kept 4 years experience and that survived also. So in the same way, you also need to keep the same efforts you need to keep.
Sure. Sure. Yeah.
Okay, then it's possible.
So that's what my question was like. If we have tasks, then it
Yes, sir,
can
the
be.
task I'll be giving. I'll be giving lot of tasks for you.
Sure. Sure. Sure.
Okay, so everyone for different tasks I'll give. Then if you discuss those all, we'll get good expertise. And everyone also need to contribute. At least 40 to 50% people need to contribute. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other doubts?
One doubt. So, sir, I have